Well, hello, Scott Powell from Smail Mercedes-Benz in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Pleasure to have you with us here to talk about the new C300 from Mercedes-Benz. Let's start at the front of the car. This one has the AMG Sportline package. Check out this grille. It's so much more different than it was before. The old Sport package grille had the diamonds that we saw for so many years. Look carefully. These are many of the three-pointed stars inside the grille. If you look here, it almost folds under a little bit. And then with this nice lower hanging valance, the prominent star in the grille, the star up on top of the hood. If you look at these headlights, this follows the same design language we've been using across the board. The shark eye headlamp with the running light all the way in with the tight curve right here. Follows exactly what Mercedes has been doing around the line for quite a while. Look at the side of the car. This car is actually a little bit wider and a little bit longer than the previous C300. There's more back seat space and quite a bit more trunk space too. Let's look at the taillights. Notice how the LED lamps are pinched up into the trunk lid. This follows the same design language we use on the E-Class and of course the S580. More trunk space, and notice how the entire trunk lid is rounded and actually gives you more space this way. Pop up underneath, it's power. Now these are the all-weather mats, but I'll pull that out and you can get a look at how deep the trunk is going all the way back. Now the C300 has always had folding seats, but before you had to pull a latch and then pull it down yourself. Now, just like the GLC, you pull the switch right here and the seats just drop. Now with the new C300, under the hood is where things get very interesting. In the last couple of years, we've been using the new Mercedes EQ technology, EQ Boost technology, to power our larger, more expensive cars. This is our first four-cylinder with the EQ Boost technology. What that means is we have a four-cylinder turbocharged engine. Does 255 horsepower, matched with our 9-speed G-tronic transmission with 295 foot-pounds of torque on the ground. But what's different is we have a 48-volt electric motor between the engine and the transmission. What that does, it eliminates the alternator and a belt. And what it actually on the ground gives you is a mild hybrid. So it actually smooths out turbo lag and helps create more torque. Now, difference between a mild hybrid and the plug-in hybrid everybody thinks about is this. This car will not operate on electric power. It's not designed to do that. But a plug-in hybrid, you can actually drive around a little bit on electric power until you have to go uphill or go on the highway, then the motor kicks in. What this EQ technology gives you is smoother acceleration, less turbo lag, and more torque. That kind of efficiency gives you better fuel economy. Now let's have a look inside the back seat of the new C300. Quite a bit more space than we had before, so it's a much more comfortable ride back here. Now have a look at this door panel. The interior of this C300, which is priced right around $50,000, is a duplicate of what you'd find in the $120,000 S-Class. The way the buttons are laid out, the way this pull is, this has the haptic feedback controls for the seats. You're getting an interior experience of a car that costs twice as much money. All right, now here we are inside the new C300, and I want you to think back to one of the videos that we did on the S580. Does this interior, does this cockpit not resemble that quite a bit with this new style design control panel? Before on the C300, it was the tablet style up here. Now some of our other models have the long dash like this, the long control panel. This C300 has the newest style right off the S-Class, where it comes up out of the center console and rises and is right here. The C300 now finally has the new MBUX technology, so you can say things like, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Tune to 102.5. And there we go. We went from country to rock. Now, if you don't want to talk to the car, you can always drag your fingers right across here and put on your favorite radio station that way. Turn up the volume with the haptic feedback controls on the steering wheel. There's no buttons to push or wheels to turn. Just slide your finger. And with the passenger, it's right here. So easy, so high-tech, and really beautiful the way this whole steering wheel is put together. The same way with this dash too. Now, it'll do more than just change radio stations. Here, I'll do another little trick for you too. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
I'm cold.
I'm increasing the temperature to 62 degrees.
It went from low to 62. It'll also turn your heated seats on and do many different easy little adjustments that you normally would have to reach over and change while you're driving. Now you can just have the voice assistant do it for you. Apple CarPlay is now controlled wirelessly. You no longer have to have that connection, that hard connection between your phone and your car. This is my phone right here, and it is completely paired up with the car. Let's go somewhere. A few other things to notice inside the interior. Now, this particular car has the black wood trim with the aluminum lines. Some people call it the pinstripes, but black wood trim with aluminum lines is the official name. And since this one does have the AMG Sportline package on, notice how nicely this dash is put together with the top stitching and the MB text. It just gives it a very, very rich, expensive feel in this car that really wasn't available before. And here's all your controls for various different functions for the MBUX system. My phone's already paired, but there it is. That was showing you some of the people I already talked to. Let's go back over here. Radio stations again. If I want to switch, for some other reason I want to switch to a different channel, just drag my finger or ask the car to do it for me. Back to home again. Again, media devices. Let's say I want to stream music or something. I can do that wirelessly, of course, with Bluetooth. Comfort. Here's where we get some interesting things. Ambient lighting. We've always had 64 colors of available ambient lighting on the C300 in the past, but now there's so much more of it in the car. And I know it's daylight, we really can't appreciate it. But it's not just the monochrome, just slide around over here to get the color that you want or ask the car to change it. We now have the multicolor shows, 12 of them, just like the S-Class. And you can adjust the color, the brightness, or even the effects that are going on with it. You can do multicolor animation. All right, let's take this car on the road. First thing I want you to see is how big that camera image is. And it's right there in your view. And here's what it shows you. If I move the steering wheel, this moves the wheel tracks. These large, wide yellow lines are the exact places where the wheels are going to go. These smaller yellow lines are the farthest point width-wise on the car. This red line's about 2 inches off the bumper. And this here, this is not a defect in the screen. This black bow here shouldn't be a bow, but it is kind of a fisheye lens. That is the actual bumper. You can almost see the corners of the license plate we're using. So that makes using the rear camera very easy. And the picture's right there. Shifter is still where it's been for years, right here at your fingertips, down for drive. Notice how quickly and easily the car just kind of took off. That's that EQ boost technology giving us a smoother feel, a smoother acceleration from our 4-cylinder turbo. Now we still have dynamic select. That was down here on the last car. Dynamic select is now right here at your fingertips. You still have eco mode. Comfort is always a standard, and 2 sport modes, and those sport modes actually adjust your RPM level up to give you a punchier, racier car. In eco mode is great now. People are always concerned about fuel economy, now more than ever with the way gas prices are. But what what eco mode does for you when you're cruising, not with cruise control, but when you're just cruising down the road, it'll actually, using our EQ technology, disengage the engine from the transmission and go into sailing mode. Sailing mode has an RPM level of 750, which is what idle is, so that helps you use even less fuel. Now, Mercedes-Benz safety features have always been important. Not usually the first thing we talk about because safety isn't sexy, but sometimes safety is sexy. Mercedes-Benz was the first company to offer as a standard feature an uncrushable passenger compartment. We now call those crumple zones. Of course, this car has one. Since 2015, we have offered forward collision mitigation. Of course, this car has it too. Blind spot assist is now standard, and you can buy the full driver's assistance suite if you want. And now, finally, Distronic Cruise Control, that's what we call intelligent cruise control, is now an individual standalone option, which gives you more ways to outfit your car. All right, let's do a little bit of acceleration here. In comfort mode, we'll notice how smooth the car is. Putting the pedal down, it just takes off. Of course, handling is impeccable. I'm going to slide around this corner. Smart thing, brake a little bit before we go in. Didn't really need to. Slide right through and apex out. I love the way it looks. The styling on the outside is just a little punch up. It just looks so much better than the previous car, which is a beautiful car. Love the way the front end with the AMG line tucks under. The other thing, once you get past the outside of the car is very important, naturally, but the interior is where you spend all your time. And I love the way this is laid out. I love having this big screen right here at my fingertips. That to me is very exciting. Another thing I love about this car is this steering wheel. This is on the AMG line steering wheel, flat bottom as it should be, but these bars here are kind of tilted back, the elegant look of them. I love the haptic feedback steering wheel where I just have to rub my thumb. Don't have to make sure I found the right button. I just kind of feel in that general direction, give a little swipe. And there it goes. And I love the fact that you can get the sport steering wheel, the AMG Sportline wheel with the flat bottom, and you can also have it be heated too. In the past, you couldn't do that. I don't know what the issue was with the part suppliers, but if you had an AMG Sportline car but wanted the steering wheel, you would get the same steering wheel you got with any other model. Now, you don't have to give up that little concession. Now this new C300 of course has the standard Mercedes-Benz new car warranty. That's 4 years, 50,000 miles. Service interval is still the same, once a year or 10,000 miles, whichever comes first. And we still offer pickup and delivery. And of course with Smail, you're always going to get free state inspections. Blind spot assist is now on. We're going to let this big Ram pickup pass us. Blind spot warning. I signal, sorry Mr. Van, see how it beeped at us? As an extra warning not to change lanes. And one of the coolest features, another great safety feature on the car, is the exit warning system. I'll explain how that works. Let's say that you and your date are out, or you're out with your date, and you pull into the parking spot. You're not ready to go into wherever you're going yet. You're talking in the car, but you don't want to let the engine idle. Shut the engine off, sit, talk, notice everything is still active and still working on the radio and everything else. Car is fully operational. You're getting ready to get out of the car, and there's someone coming in a bike or walking or with another car, and you pull that door. If they're there, it's going to light and flash as a warning one more time. Don't get out of the car. Hey, thanks for watching our video here on the new Mercedes-Benz C300. To check out the real car, come see us on Route 30 in Greensburg or check us out online at smailmercedesbenz.com.